Hey guys, first of all let me say thank you for being so patient with me with my slow uploading, and as a thank you for that I will be posting a video every single day from today when this video is posted to the end of the week. So from today, this is probably going to be posted Saturday morning, and so from Saturday morning to next Saturday morning I will post every single day. Here is my review of the movie Brave. Now first of all I would like to say that, because I know everyone's going to ask me how does it rank among with other movies. My opinion on Brave is this. I think that Brave is a amazing Disney movie. I think if it was just called a Disney movie, people would say this is the return of Disney's golden era. I think it's better than Tangled, Princess and the Frog. Anything that they've come out with in a very long time, this is 100% better than that. However, it is an okay Pixar movie. A good Pixar movie, but I think the fact that it's not a great, amazing, super complex Pixar movie as we have been used to from the Pixar franchise minus Cars, people are going to be disappointed in how the whole thing turned out. Me, I feel like I'm not disappointed with the movie. I can't say that I think it's better than a lot of other movies, but at the same time I think that it was a fun experience, and if you're coming into it with the mindset this is a Disney Pixar movie and it leans more towards Disney than Pixar, you'll probably be less disappointed than if you come in thinking it's going to be this great, brilliant Pixar movie, because while it's good, you're going to want more than good from it. So the story of Brave is about the Princess Merida, and she is free-spirited tomboy princess, you know, that usual trope, and she is frustrated because her mother, Queen Eleanor, has had this whole arranged marriage ready for her to marry one of the 3 heirs to the clan, because this marriage will help bind the clans together and help prevent a war from breaking out between the 4 clans. However, Merida doesn't want to get married. She doesn't think that this is a wise decision, and so one day when she runs out after a fight with her mother, she follows the Wisps of the Wills, which are little spirits, and they take her to a witch's house, and she, along with the witch, creates a spell in order to try and change her mother into to try to change her mother in order to help her have her own path and make her own destiny. And when she gives her mother this potion, she is turned into a bear, and this is really bad because bears are kind of the ultimate enemy in the community, because there is a demon bear called Mordu who is responsible for a lot of hardship there, so they want to kill bears. And so it's Merida finding out how to break the spell, and also her and her mother coming back together and settling their differences. The reason why I think it's such a great Disney movie is because it breaks a lot of the kind of problems I've always had with Disney female characters, including the ones I like Belle. Merida is a character. She's not an archetype. She starts off that way, but she grows up. This movie does not say that she was right for all the things that she did and that she's not perfect. This movie has to have her grow up. Her and her mother are basically, they start off as the 2 different dichotomies of the scale. You have the more feminine Eleanor, and then you have the tomboy Merida. And in the beginning you think it's going to be just Merida and her being right all the time, kind of like how Ariel was in The Little Mermaid. The whole movie is made to justify her actions. This does not do that. What this movie does is give Merida an opportunity to rediscover her relationship with her mother, and to also realize that what her mother taught her, those princess duties, those lessons, have made her a better person for it. And just because they're not, you know, archery or sword fighting doesn't mean they're not useful skills. And that was something that was really refreshing to me. And what made me enjoy this movie so much is that Merida grows up. She is not perfect. She becomes a better person because of the story that she goes through. And, you know, she can admit that she was wrong. And not the whole I got caught so I'm mad about it. It's she was wrong. And even in the beginning she doesn't completely own up to it. But as the movie goes along, she does become a better person. And she realizes that there's more to life than just, you know, rebelling. Rebellion is good because, you know, you stand against the norms, you can help change tradition, but not all tradition is bad. Not all parts of tradition are bad. And I think that's a really important message, especially among young people, because we have our whole rebellious teen phase, and most of the time what the media will do will just cater towards that and justify our angst completely and ignore that our parents do have points sometimes. They're not always right, they're not always perfect, but at the same time we do not get the encouragement to meet them in the middle, to kind of work together. So I like that story. That's why I think it's a great Disney movie. The reason why I don't think it's a great Pixar movie is because the story is very simplistic. I mean, the humor is funny, but it's not as sophisticated as some of the other humor in other movies. It's a very simple film. It is doing a fairy tale, and I think that it was a good movie, and it tried to do everything right. And I think that the humor is something people might be will be kind of disappointed about. It's not as funny, but I found it funny. But I don't think it was as funny as some other movies. I do think that the three brothers definitely brought a lot of the humor to the story, and a lot of the humor was around body humor and gag humor. But at the same time, I didn't feel like it was cheap. I just felt like it was not what people wanted. I felt like all the characters had a personality. You can they weren't fully fleshed out, of course, because you can't develop that many people in that short amount of time. But they did manage to give all of the characters a personality, all the members of the clan, not all members, but all the leaders of the clan, their sons. The father definitely had his own great personality. The triplets, the mom, even when she was a bear, you could see her personality coming out, and I thought that was really sweet and really endearing. The animation, of course, is brilliant, but you all knew that because it's Pixar. The scenes were beautiful, the cinematography was great, the shots, how they made stuff work together and come together. I was really happy with how this movie dealt with femininity on both sides of the scale, and so how neither one's a bad thing and neither one is perfect, but neither one makes you a bad person. I liked how the characters grew, like I said that before. I also liked how there was no real antagonist. There is an antagonist in the sense that, you know, the witch is responsible for the curse, but she's not played as an evil person. She's kind of more how, like, if you read the original Little Mermaid, you know how the witch facilitates the mermaid character to do stuff, but she's not seen as an evil thing. She's just kind of like, that's what you wanted, I gave it to you. Same thing here, the witch isn't necessarily evil, but she doesn't actually help that much either. The actual villain comes up, but his story and how it ties into the beginning and the whole idea of theme and destiny was really good. I mean, it wasn't overly complex, but at the same time, it was interesting enough that you could tell. It wasn't like a surprise, because you kind of knew that what was the connection between the two, the first story that we hear in the beginning and the bear. But I feel like despite that, it was still enjoyable, but I still like that's probably one of the reasons why people will not like this as much as other Pixar movies, which is unfortunate because I don't think that it's fair. But at the same time, when you have that high standard always being told about Pixar and how great they are, you are going to hold them to a higher standard whether or not, you know, it's fair to judge all of their movies by just being, you know, what they've done before. But at the same time, I did it too, so I think that it's fair to warn you that's how I felt about it. The music was great. Oh no, like, it was a solid film. I can't say that I was disappointed for going to see it or taking the time out to see it. And I think what really touched for me, and why I encourage everyone to see it, is because it is a beautiful love story between mother and daughter. And I feel like, you know, they have Finding Nemo, which is definitely like between father and son, even though I think anyone can connect to it. But what's so special about these mother and daughter stories, especially in such a fairy tale story such as this one, is that most of the time you don't have that. You don't have a very strong mother-daughter relationship. It's either father or daughter, or if they do have a mother and daughter relationship, it's kind of put to the side. This was really about these two people falling in love and falling in love with each other and realizing how much they cared for one another and how much they relied on one another. And I felt like that is a story that needed to be told in this medium, because we don't have that a lot. You know, sometimes they'll have, you know, a mother and a daughter clashing, but they won't really reconcile because it's not about them. It's about the larger story, and she will usually fall in love, and she'll have been right. That's the whole thing. And like, you see stuff like Quest for Camelot that also kind of had that whole kind of thing, I want to be a knight, not a lady. And in the end, it's, you know, just her part of the perspective. Kayla's perspective is justified, but never the mother's perspective. And I felt like this movie finally found a balance between those two kind of ideas. And it doesn't really have some of the secondary plots that a lot of Pixar movies have become really popular and famous for. It's pretty much a straightforward story, and I think that if you are expecting a really amazing Pixar movie because it says Pixar on it, you will definitely be disappointed. It is definitely not that kind of Pixar movie. It is definitely more of an excellent Disney movie and an okay Pixar movie. But I don't think this makes the movie bad. I just think that you have to come into it with the right mindset, or you will be upset at how it came together in the end.